What's good YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you my first deck profile on Magic the Gathering Arena. Let's get into this. Hey guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe please, because they really do help me to get found. Don't forget to turn on notifications to be notified of all uploads and live streams, and don't forget to join me on my socials. Those are all linked down below. Okay, let's get in. Alright, so recently I picked up Magic as a card game. I'm still going to do Yu-Gi-Oh content. But Magic I've picked up recently because of the Lord of the Rings set, and in fact this is a deck profile for Lord of the Rings. This is a white and red deck. So let's jump into the profile. So, we're running 4 copies of Esquire of the King. So, it's a white, costs 1 to cast. 1 to summon. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. This ability costs 2 less to activate if you control a legendary creature. So, if you have a legendary creature, it costs less. 4 copies of Ranger's Firebrand. So, it's a fire sorcery. Ranger's Firebrand deals 2 damage to any target, and then the ring tempts you. So, of course, this will give you a Ring Bearer. And the Ring Bearer, of course, the ring itself has, at stage 1, your Ring Bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. At stage 2, whenever your Ring Bearer attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. At level 3, whenever your Ring Bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at the end of the turn. And 4, whenever your Ring Bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life. Now, say you're on stage 2, you'll get the effect of both stage 1 and 2, and so forth. So that's really cool. 4 copies of Rohirrim Lancer. So it's a creature, human, knight, fire, 1 strength, 1 defense, or what I can't remember what it's called in this game. It has Menace, so when Rohirrim Lancer dies, the ring tempts you. So again, that's another way to get the Ring Bearer on your field. We've got 2 copies of Flowering of the White Tree. This is a legendary enchantment, white, so you need at least 2 whites. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward, and non-legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. So it's just a decent power bonus. 4 copies of the Westfold Rider, so it's a 1 cost with white. Creature, human, knight, sacrifice Westfold Rider, destroy target artifact or enchantment, activate only as a sorcery. So you can summon this as a monster, and then on the field, you can then choose to sacrifice it in order to destroy a target artifact or enchantment, which is actually really cool. We've got 4 copies of Rally at the Hornburg. So this is a sorcery. It costs 1 mana to cast, but it has to be at least 1 fire. Create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Humans you control gain haste until the end of the turn. So not only can you get 2 tokens this way, but you can also give all of your warriors, all your humans haste until the end of the turn. And since we only run humans in this deck, it works for all of them. 2 copies of Boromir, Warden of the Tower. So this is a legendary creature requiring at least 2 mana with white. So it has Vigilance. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter the spell. So you can counter non-mana casting spells, which is great. And then you can also sacrifice Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn, and then the ring tempts you. So another great way to put the ring on the field, not to mention to give one of your monsters indestructible till the end of the turn. We're running 3 copies of Theoden, King of Rohan. So it's a legendary human noble creature, requiring fire and red and white mana to cast. Whenever Theoden, King of Rohan, or another human enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains double strike until the end of the turn. So this will activate every turn, providing you summon up at least 1 warrior-type monster or 1 human, I guess. So it's a great way to give double strike to a lot of your monsters. Actually helps for a lot of win condition. 2 copies of Anduril, Flame of the West. This is a legendary artifact requiring 3 mana. So a quick creature gets +3/+1. Whenever a quick creature attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. If that creature is legendary, instead create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. So basically, if you equip this to a legendary creature, you can then not only summon those 2 flying spirits, but you can also have them so they can attack immediately as opposed to coming in tapped. 2 times Horn of Gondor. When Horn of Gondor enters the battlefield, create 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. And then for 3 cost, you can create times 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of humans you control. So say, for example, if you control 4 humans, you can summon 4 tokens. And then on the following turn, if you have those 4 humans and 4 tokens, you can summon 8 more tokens. It's a great way to get a lot of human soldier tokens on the field very quickly. Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold. So this is a legendary creature, human soldier requiring red mana. Whenever Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold, or another human enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+0 till the end of the turn. So it's a pretty decent way to power up your monsters. 3 copies of Eowyn, Fearless Knight. So it's a legendary creature, human knight, requiring both red and white mana. So it has haste. When Eowyn Fearless Knight enters the when Eowyn Fearless Knight enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. So this instantly allows you to get rid of a big boss monster your opponent has. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors until the end of the turn. So say, for example, if you're going against a black deck and you exile a black deck monster, your creatures will be immune to their abilities until the end of the turn, which is great. 1 copy of Minas Tirith, so it's legendary land. Minas Tirith enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature, and then you can either add white mana or get rid of a white mana to draw a card, activate only if this attack activate only if you attack with 2 or more creatures this turn. So if you attack with 2 more creatures, you get to draw a card, basically, which is really cool. And then, of course, we're running 12 plains and 11 mountains to give you red and white mana. Now, I'm going to quickly do a duel to show you what this deck is kind of like. So let's jump into that. So we'll hit play. That's Alchemy. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is an Alchemy deck, of course, because the Lord of the Rings stuff is primarily Alchemy anyway. It's actually a very interesting deck archetype because there are a lot of ways you can actually build the Lord of the Rings decks. I mean, I know the way that most people are playing it at the minute is through Black Deck because of the Ring Wraiths. They are very overpowered. In fact, I've dueled them a few times and hated my life whenever I dueled them because they are ridiculously strong. But, I don't know, like, I kind of like this deck. This is actually a pretty decent hand, I'll keep it. I didn't start with any plains, but I do have red mana, which is great. Although the ring just sits there. That's kind of cool, actually. I actually need to customize my stuff as well. Oh, it's my turn. We'll use a mountain, summon Rohirrim Lancer. Give them their turn. So the Rohirrim Lancer itself is actually very cool. Or you're using black and red. Okay. Another mountain. Yes, I will activate that. Rally at the Hornberg, give me 2 tokens. All can attack. If I could get a plains in this next turn, that'd be great. Oh, you're running mounted, so you're running... Oh, this is a dragon deck. Another mountain. I'm going to activate Horn of Gondor. So with this on the field, I'm actually going to be able to summon up a bunch of tokens very fast. Directing another Dragon Spark Reactor, so you're giving yourself tokens. Or counters, sorry. So they're giving themselves a bunch of counters. No doubt they're going to summon something big with that, probably. Blood Fountain. Interesting. Oh, this is a blood token deck. Okay. How interesting. Activate planes. So we're going to activate this. That gives us 4 more tokens. I'm also going to summon up Esquire of the King. Now, on the next turn, if most of these survive, which I imagine they will, I'm going to summon up an absolute crap ton of tokens. I'm also going to activate Andariel Flame of the West. So activate Arundel Flame of the West. Activate this ability. Oh wait, no, I can't, can I? Because I've got to pay 3 mana. No. We can summon Esquire of the King, though. Go ahead, block. You're going to have to, because... unless you're going to sit there and take the 9 damage. Yep, I figured that actually works for me though, because that's going to allow the ring to tempt. So I'm okay with that. Ring tempted, so we'll choose that as the ring bearer. Realistically speaking, you can choose anything as the ring bearer because it's only level 1 anyway. There are other ways to transfer ring power over, so it's not too big a deal. Okay. Cool. Very nice. Okay, activate mountain. We're going to activate the Horn of Gondor. It gives me 8 more tokens. I'm going to target, I guess, one of my tokens. There we go, 2 more tokens. So as you can see with this deck, you can summon a lot of tokens very fast to just brute force your way through pretty much everything. Because we're going to brute force our way through. Bang, 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 bang. It's honestly crazy how fast you can brute force your way through with just level 1 tokens. It's kind of mad. But let me know what you thought about this deck build in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, please, because you guys have been smashing it recently. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be notified of all uploads and live streams, because I do upload daily and I live stream most days. Whenever I go live, I either go live here on YouTube or I go live on Twitch. Don't forget to follow on both platforms to be notified of those live streams. Don't forget to also join my socials. Those are all linked down below. Links to stuff like Twitch, Twitter, Discord. And don't forget, you could also become a channel member to support the channel further for as little as 99 pence per month here in the UK, or about $1.30 in America. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.